Hey everyone, and welcome to FCRB TV. As promised, the third of the three in a row, which I kind of missed yesterday because I decided to wait for Arsenal to play their match against Brighton, and I would wrap it all up with Arsenal's match. As I promised, I'm going to talk about VAR, and glad I waited because I just watched LAFC, the expansion team versus Seattle Sounders, and there was a situation with VAR or the lack thereof. So that's gonna all tie in together, and I'll drop my 2 cents on the whole Neymar situation at PSG. But so starting off with Arsenal, we lost this morning 2-1 to Brighton. Peter Cech was not good enough. Peter Cech was not good enough. Both goals were his fault. Yes, Murray wasn't really marked up properly on the second, but nevertheless, he's got to make that save. If you come off your line on the first one, you got to come off. You got to make contact. And you're a pretty big dude, Peter. So and he already sent a tweet out and admitted it was his fault and things like that. But nobody wants to really take him to task, really. They want to all say Wenger out, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, Wenger needs to go. Yes, he does. But his players have not helped the man at all. At all. He's not that bad of a manager. He's not that far off base. It's just the fact that players are not pulling their weight, not doing the job, and they're killing they're killing the man. They're killing the man. They're killing the club. Players now have the power to do things like that. People are saying that Arsenal's falling apart and we're in the situation because of Wenger. Yeah, he's part to blame, of course, and so is Stan Kroenke, of course. But the players as well. The players can be like, listen, the front office might get it wrong. The manager might get it wrong. But we're on the field. We got to make sure we get it right. And they don't. I mean, today, it was just poor, man. Just poor. I don't know who was really good. I mean, Aubameyang scored, but he wasn't that great either. Iwobi was bad, and I never want to admit that, but he was terrible today. Don't know what he was thinking. But Arsenal's just, we're a bang average team now, bang average side. And the only good thing is that we can't get relegated at this point in time. So we can say that we have to kind of safeguard against it in the next 5 years. But we're not getting any closer to the top 4, the top 5. We're not getting any closer to that. So if we finish 6th or 7th or 8th, it doesn't make a difference because I think being out of Europe would be better for us. So we can just concentrate on domestic issues and try to get the team right. And that's barring that Wenger goes. Wenger should have left Thursday night. After losing the City, he should have left. Just in the night, just go. But and I'm one of his biggest supporters. But when your players aren't playing for you, you gotta go. If they're not pulling their weight for you, if they're not following instructions, if they're not trying to execute the game plan, whether the game plan is right or wrong, if they're not trying to execute in any way, shape, or form, you got to go because that means that they're not listening to you anymore. They're not responding to you. They're done with you. So go and get, we need to go get a new manager. Simple as that. And the funny thing is, when Arsenal gets this new manager, we will see how many of these guys remain. We will see. There's talks that Juve are interested in Bellerin. Yeah, he should go to Juve and he'll be a squad player. Squad player. And it'll be good for his footballing career because Italy is high in fashion. So, his fashion stuff will really skyrocket, and secondary could be his football career at Juve. He'll play the odd Coppa Italia match that nobody expects Juve to lose. They're playing some Serie C side. That's when Bellerin will play. So there needs to be a clearinghouse at Arsenal. They're just not good enough. I would love for Wenger to go now and just never return. Not saying that he's asking for a statue outside. I know my man Mo said that we should have a statue outside for him, but it's just It's shattered now. You know, if we build a statue for him, somebody would go sever the head. You know, they'll vandalize it. You know what I mean? So Frankie should just go with his money and just go away and keep the good memories that he was able to build and create with him and wherever he goes. But don't come back to the Emirates. Just leave that alone. Let somebody else come in and try to rectify things and get us back on the good foot. But it's just the only good thing, like I said, is that we can't get relegated at this point. We can finish 10th, 11th, that's fine. But just don't get relegated. Against Milan, I don't see how we can make it happen. Lacazette is injured, and Aubameyang is cup tied. So Nketiah should start, I think. I thought he was all right when he came on today, but, who knows what they're going to do. They're probably going to play Danny Welbeck up the middle, which is like we're playing a man down. So, it's not looking good. But, so, that it is what it is. Arsenal are just in really rough shape, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be there with them forever, and I'll be watching that game against Milan, see how we do. It's going to be tough. On to the next, as promised, talked about, wanted to touch on VAR. And really, this episode is really about VAR and not Arsenal. VAR is the worst thing ever for football. Absolute worst thing. Video assistant referee, it is a nightmare. A nightmare. It takes too long to make a decision. It takes away all the emotion out of the game. We score a goal, we have to look around to make sure it counts. Whatever happened to us knowing what was going on in the game? Why do we always have to go back and cross-check everything? Every goal? I mean, I'm not a Tottenham fan. I'm a Tottenham hater. But watching that FA Cup replay, well, I don't even know who they're playing. I don't even know. I can't even guess. But it's some League One side. And Tottenham had goals taken away for no reason. Going to VAR and taking away goals? Are you kidding? That's a joke. It's ridiculous. Not only are you stopping play and we're taking forever, 1, 2, 3 minutes to find out what's going on, and I'm at home watching this, so I'm hearing what the commentators are saying, but the people in the stands, and it was snowing, and they don't know what's going on? Come on. You serious? Then when they stop it for 2, 3 minutes, then they take away goals. Like, oh, no goal. What do you mean? It's a joke. Even in the early round of the FA Cup where Man United was playing, I think they were playing Huddersfield, and Juan Mata scored. Right, it was a good goal. His knee might have been fractionally offside, but from where he was, the referee really couldn't see it. You know what I mean? They go to VAR to check it, and then they say, "Oh, his kneecap is offside, so therefore it's not a goal." Whatever happened to the advantage goes to the attacker if it's very close. The fans came to see goals, and it was a good build-up, a well-worked chance on goal by United, and Mata scores, and they call offsides through VAR, and I don't think the linesman pulled his flag up. They just checked it because it's a goal, and they said, "Oh, wait a minute, it's not a goal." That's a joke. A joke, And Mauricio Pochettino said it best. It's going to take away all the emotion out of football. And that's part of what makes our game amazing. Listen, the imperfectness of the game is the most beautiful thing about the game. Just like a woman's imperfectness. She can't be perfect. She cannot be. Nobody is perfect. So how is football going to be perfect? Get the call right. Oh, stop with that nonsense. All referees should feel insulted that this VAR thing has come into play, and now all of a sudden they can't make a call. They have to wait for this machine to tell them what's going on, or some guy in a booth that's not even in the stadium telling them, "Oh yeah, that was a handball," or whatever. It takes away the talking points. It's a nightmare. And to sum it all up, MLS has had VAR last season. The second half of last season, they started with it this year. Last year, Kaká got red carded via VAR when he was fooling around with one of his ex-teammates from another team. I think Aurelio Cullen went from Orlando to New York Red Bull, and they played against each other. In the 90th minute, something happened, and Kaká played around, slapped his face, tapped him. So then the referee goes to VAR, sees it, and goes and gives Kaká a red card. Talk about he struck him in the face. Aurelio Cullen didn't fall on the ground. It was no big deal. They were playing around. My man gave Kaká a red card. Does this ref not understand what's going on out here? He has no discretion? What's wrong with you? Are you an idiot? Oh my God. That was last season. Today, LAFC versus Seattle Sounders. Carlos Vela, a big-time DP, playing for LAFC, rounds this youngster on the left-hand side. He's right. He's like a right mid, but for some reason he ends up at right back, and the kid's tracking back, and Carlos Vela hits him with a hezzy, gets in the box, and the kid slide tackles and takes him out in the box. The referee's right there and calls a goal kick. Vela gets up and says, "Hey, go to VAR. Go to VAR." Does the TV screen thing, the monitor thing. And the referee doesn't even go to it, and they don't give a pen. First of all, if you saw this tackle, there is no need for VAR. My 7-year-old son would have said, "Hey, mate, that's a pen right there." How does this referee not call the penalty? And then he doesn't even go to VAR to find out. And if they did go to VAR, what was VAR doing? How did they not say that's a pen? I really wish somebody saw that as well and comments and tells me why that wasn't a pen. You've got to be kidding. So what's the point of having VAR if you can't even use it right? For me, I have a huge issue with officiating in MLS. It's not good enough. That tackle there today should have been a penalty, and probably he could have been sent off. Could have been. Goal scoring opportunity, round him, gets inside the box, pulls him down. Okay, at least it's a pen and a yellow card for the youngster, right? The referee can't get it right, and now it's almost like MLS is almost like the XFL, where we want to see what we can get away with. You only in MLS can you get mugged in the box, and the referee's like, goal kick. What? Are you serious? The referee should have called that 10 times out of 10. And the funny thing is, because he doesn't call it, there are going to be people out there saying, "Oh, that's not a foul. Get up. Get tough." No, dude. You don't get to just rake people down the back of the calf and say, "Oh, you're soft." You have to get the ball. My man just wiped out Carlos Vela, and it would have been sweet because they're up 1-0. Seattle's trying to get back into it. They're fighting hard. They hit the bar. The kid who committed the foul hit the bar, And then Vela, the DP, does his thing. A little shimmy, he gets in the box. He wins a pen. Imagine if he scores a pen on his debut for the traveling fans of LAFC, and they win the game on the road to the last season's finalists 2-0. And Carlos Vela, they can sing his name. But no, that opportunity is all gone because this referee does not know what he's doing. If you saw that referee, he didn't even have any patches on his referee kit. Look like he got it from Wish. What a joke. It looked like he just stole somebody's yellow shirt and said, "I'm going to ref the game today." Terrible. Just ridiculous. And this is week 1. This is the first weekend. We got the whole season to go. And it's going to be a mess. With VAR and the poor officiating, it's going to be a mess. That non-call is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. That referee should be suspended for the next weekend's game. They should send it to go and ref spring games in college. That's what they ask him to go and do and get his game up. That's what they should do because that's unacceptable. So VAR is a nightmare. We don't need it. What we need to do is we need to ask the referees to continue to strive for their personal best, their excellence, and there are some good ones out there. I believe that Craig Bellamy and someone else were having a debate about this, and he said that he was with me. He said there's no need for it. There's no need for it. He said coaches make mistakes, players make mistakes, referees make mistakes. So if we're not going to have some kind of way to get the coaches and the players to be perfect, how can we ask the referees to be perfect? You know what I mean? We can only ask everyone to be better. So there's no need for VAR. VAR just slows the game down, takes away the emotion, ruins the game. Ruins the game. I'm just happy that the level in which I work in football, there is no VAR. And being a youth manager, working with lower levels of football, there's no VAR there. So, I'm glad that I don't have to really deal with it. Either you see it or you don't. And some of these things are so clear as day to see that VAR shouldn't even be asked for anyway. The penalty should have been given today for Carlos Vela. It's a joke. And you know who else was in that debate was Stuart Pearce. And Stuart Pearce said the same thing. He said, I'm not for VAR because, just as I kind of said, he said, the football from youth to the lower ranks all the way to the top should be uniform, should be all the same. So if you're playing in League One, you're playing in the Championship, you're playing in Serie C, Serie B, you're playing in the second Bundesliga, or you're playing in the Champions League final or MLS Cup final. It should all be the same. It should all be the same. But, I don't know who exactly is making all this money off of VAR, but somebody's making money, and it's always about money. But VAR is an absolute nightmare. It just ruins it all. It just ruins it. It spoils it. It's not fun anymore. Sometimes when you score a goal that you got away with something, yeah, okay, like Aguero, he nudged Mustafi in the back and went on and scored. You know what I mean? It's a little like a little gamesmanship. We got you. Haha, get better. Sharpen your game up, So it's like VAR's not needed. It's a joke, and I am 100% against it. Not a fan at all. It's a nightmare, and it's going to spoil MLS for me a little bit, but I'm going to keep watching because I'm a diehard footballer, and I'm never going to stop loving the game and supporting it and watching it whenever I can and getting involved with it. So that's my spiel on VAR. It's an absolute nightmare. Never should it be involved in our game. So yeah, that's that. And last but not least, this situation with Neymar. He's gotten himself injured. Now he's going to be out for 3 months, and he's going to miss that all-important second leg at home at the Parc des Princes versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. PSG paid $222 million for this game coming up, and you're not going to be there. It's just for me. It's eerily familiar or similar to Neymar's injury in the World Cup against Colombia, where they said he almost got paralyzed and this and that, but they also said he's going to miss the Germany game, but if they are to beat Germany, he will definitely be in the final. How's that happen? How's that work? And now all of a sudden, he gets injured like in the 89th minute, the 90th minute of a game that they're winning 3-0 in Ligue 1. And now he's broken some metatarsal and he's going to be out for 3 months and he's going to miss the game against Real Madrid. Neymar is a con man, bro. He's a con man. He lies to us all the time. I'm not falling for it. Call me crazy. Call me a jerk. But I'm not falling for that. The man doesn't want to play against Real Madrid because he's going to Real Madrid in the summer. He doesn't want to knock them out. He doesn't want to have to go through that. So he just finds a way to not play the game. He knew Brazil was going to get smashed against Germany. That's why he didn't play. That's why he did not play. Yeah, call me crazy. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. That's why he didn't play against Germany, and that's why he's not going to play against Real Madrid. And basically, the league is already won for PSG, so there's no point playing in the league games anymore. You went to PSG to help these people win the Champions League, not Ligue 1. They win that already. Not the Coupe de Ligue, the Champions League. And now you're not going to be there because you were fooling around and got injured, So one of the opponents on the match said that he goes around looking for trouble anyway. For me, he's been quite disrespectful in Ligue 1 anyway. He does all these tricks and just doing too much and tries to embarrass other fellow professionals. And that's not cool, man. You don't do stuff like that. Show some class. But you know what? That's my 2 cents on it. I don't buy for 1 second. I do believe he's going to go to Real Madrid in the summer. He's going to bounce because ultimately that's where he always wanted to be. So he'll find a way over there, and he didn't want to play against Real Madrid at all. So it's a joke. Shady dude. He's a very good player, very technical. But I'm not a fan. I don't like how he goes about his business. But that's my 2 cents. It's a little too shady how it's so similar to the World Cup in 2014, the quarterfinals. So that's that. So Arsenal were average. Lucky to be that, I guess. Could be worse. VAR is a nightmare, complete nightmare, ruins the game. Some refs don't know what they're doing. That's for the MLS. And Neymar, I see you, dog. I see you, man. You ain't fooling me, but that's how you do. All right? So, until next time, folks, if you enjoy the footy rant, comment at the bottom, subscribe, and I'll be back next week because Arsenal are going to the San Siro. Oh, it's not as daunting as it used to be, but with our squad, no senior striker, it's going to be tough. So I'll be back in that time, and Champions League second legs are coming up too. So I'll be back in the week. So best of luck to start next week. Enjoy yourselves. FCRB TV. Ciao.